We wish to speak to you today about justice, a concept that, like power, has been greatly misused and distorted by those who wish to keep you controlled and docile. There is much confusion about justice, for there are many rules which serve some at the expense of others. Laws express principles, ideals for behavior and action. They are a reference to remind you of the moral and ethical principles which govern your society. Justice is love in action. Those laws which deny love, which serve one group to the exclusion or detriment of another, which institute systems of control, are not divine law, but human-made injustice. When laws are imposed and used to punish trespassers, they become something external, a source of domination rather than a principle to which all strive. It is the underlying feelings that create the strength of the laws, or their weakness. Sometimes, and this is more the case now, a law that you have put in place shows you just how far you are from justice. There are many who feel that they have not been fairly treated, and that the enemy must be vanquished in order for a victim to feel vindicated. This is a sense of justice based on separation. It is a morality based in fear and also in obedience to a punishing paternal father figure. And with this, a feeling that you must distrust others in order to protect yourself. And of course, when one projects distrust, one always finds a source of danger to be distrustful of. This is living in crisis, hunkered down, as it were, as if under constant attack, bombardment, a precarious existence in the midst of an ongoing war. You cannot talk anybody out of the monsters they believe in, for fear creates its own irrefutable evidence. You reserve anger and hostility, actually the same old hostility you have for the monsters, to anyone who would question their existence. You hope a savior will vanquish the monster once and for all. Yet you need an enemy, a monster, in order to retain a sense of agency, control, and righteousness. The alternative, which is far more terrifying, is to feel vulnerable, powerless, inadequate, inferior. At the heart of this is the trauma of being powerless. Whatever pain you felt, whatever traumas that have not been resolved, form the core of this desire for superiority and control. This pain, long buried, is like a boil. The surface of the skin is very tender, for all that is attempting to isolate the wound is also creating the pain and swelling around it. The longer, the deeper the boil, the more painful, the more difficult it is to touch, for the pain is always close to the surface. Finding someone to blame temporarily distracts one from the pain, but as long as it remains under the surface, unhealed, it will infect every other part of the body, and if left untreated, will kill you. Justice, true justice, is born from and expresses freedom. And freedom is risky. There are no guarantees, few certainties, and many surprises. There is the possibility of connection, of empathy with those outside your circle, of compassion for those you have called your enemy as well. You love not because you are compelled to by law, but because you know that there is no other, no outsider, no enemy, and what you do to another, you also do to yourself. When you understand this, you will begin to know true justice. I'm Suzanne LaGrande, and you've been listening to The Shaman's Notebook. For more insights and adventures into healing, subscribe below and visit me at SuzanneLaGrande.com.